What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Okay, I did a story last week, and my mic is falling. I did a story last week, right, about this man right here. This fat piece of shit that you see up here is John Henry Walston Jr., 27-year-old man playing with children. This guy is the guy you guys been keeping up. He set his trailer on fire with 3 children in there. Supposedly, 2 of the children belong to the neighbor who allowed their kids to go and spend the night over this grown-ass man's house. Now, the children that were from the neighbor were a 9-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl. And one of them, besides being killed, was sexually assaulted. Now, I don't know which one. I'm probably guessing the girl. But this guy right here killed both of the children and then set the trailer on fire with a dog in there and another little child, a 12-year-old, who escaped and told something to the police that they don't believe, and I don't believe neither. And honestly, I think he put the kid up to say that, but more information has come out. I want to share it with you guys. This guy initially set this fire, then fled, then came back and acted like he was in the fire. Mess. Look.
Details are emerging tonight after the deaths of 2 children, a 7-year-old girl and her 9-year-old brother. An arrest report details what the suspect and witness told authorities after a fire went through a mobile home in Escambia County last week.
Tanner Stewart is live outside the mobile home park on Flaxman Street right now. And Tanner, you spoke with the sheriff today, and still a lot of unanswered questions out there.
Many, Bob. The sheriff tells me today that they learned this was much more than a house fire after the medical examiner's office returned their findings to the sheriff. Now, while there is one suspect in custody, Sheriff Simmons says this investigation does have a long ways to go.
WEAR obtained the arrest report today for 27-year-old John Walston. He's facing 2 counts of premeditated murder, sex abuse on a victim under 12, arson, and animal cruelty. It reveals 4 people were inside Walston's trailer the night of the fire, including a 3rd child who managed to escape. The report shows the 12-year-old child initially told investigators that a, quote, Jamaican man was seen in his doorway holding a Molotov cocktail and flamethrower. I asked the sheriff about the child's statement.
He mentioned some, what I'll call outrageous story about someone else coming in and starting the fire. We don't believe that.
According to the report, the mother also agrees, saying she thought the story was a lie, even asking investigators to do additional interviews to get to the truth.
Do you believe that the child may have been a witness to any of the crimes?
I can't say that he was a witness to it. At this point, the investigation is continuing. We will have a couple more conversations with everyone, including that 12-year-old. I believe that he was asleep at the time that the event took place.
The 7-page report concludes saying, based on the facts and evidence, as well as John Walston's admission of guilt, he was placed under arrest. Many of our viewers still question why the children were staying at this man's home.
As we understand right now, they were acquaintances, the mother of the children and this felon. From what we understand, they were staying there as a convenience, I guess.
Does that seem convenient to you? I mean, does that seem suspect at all?
It's certainly something that we will have to look into. I mean, why were they over there? Why weren't they at the other trailer? And why these particular children were at that trailer and not other children? As I understand, there are siblings as well. Everything's suspicious to us.
This afternoon, 7-year-old Raiden Smith's father, who lives in another county, speaking to me over the phone, sharing his own questions about what happened.
Why are you letting kids go to a grown man's home? Why are you letting kids stay the night at a grown man's home? I want to know why they were over there to begin with.
Sheriff Chip Simmons says their main suspect is behind bars, but this investigation isn't over.
Not by a long shot. Again, we have made the arrest, and then they're obviously going to be a prosecution stage, but we still have a lot of interviews to do.
Now, due to the ongoing investigation, the sheriff couldn't confirm the details of Walston's confession as it was redacted from that arrest report. Hoping to learn more later on this week as John Walston appears in court on Friday. Reporting live tonight in Escambia County, I'm Tanner Stewart.
New details into the arrest of a man charged with killing 2 children in Escambia County.
John Walston Jr. faces a number of charges, including 2 counts of premeditated murder and arson. The investigation began last week after a mobile home on Flaxman Street caught fire. 4 people inside at the time. 9-year-old Vaden Oram and 7-year-old Raiden Smith, as well as a dog, were found dead. Walston and a 12-year-old child did get out. Sheriff Chip Simmons says it wasn't until the medical examiner's office released their findings that they knew that this was more than a house fire. According to Walston's arrest report, the 12-year-old child initially told investigators that a Jamaican man was seen in the doorway holding a Molotov cocktail and a flamethrower. Walston shared a similar story, but the child's mother said she thought that story was a lie, asking investigators to do additional interviews. The report says during an interview, Walston admitted to sexually assaulting one of the children. He says he got drunk and started feeling depressed, stating he hated his life and made the decision to kill the children. After that, Walston admitted to setting the house on fire and wanted to die in the fire as well, but couldn't go through with it. The report says Walston spared the 12-year-old child, telling investigators, quote, "He's my best friend." Following Walston's admission of guilt, he was placed under arrest. Sheriff Chip Simmons says the investigation is not over.
Again, we have made the arrest, and then they're obviously going to be a prosecution stage, but we still have a lot of interviews to do.
Walston being held in the Escambia County Jail without bond, scheduled to appear in court tomorrow.
There it is there. And that second story I found while I was doing this video for y'all, that explains everything right there. Like I said in the first video, people that do sick sadistic things to children have a mindset similar to said child's age in which they did that act. What did I tell you? Said he waited till the kids went to sleep, 12-year-old included, and he started drinking because he felt depressed and he hated his life. So he decided to try to kill himself and these kids, but he couldn't go through with it because it was too hot for his fat ass. So he ran out and then tried to come back and act like he had smoke inhalation. He couldn't go through with it, but they didn't have a chance but to go through with it, or but to go through it rather. This is the stupid shit. This is this idiotic mindset that's out here right now amongst a lot of people that when they get questioned for the things they do, they sound just as stupid as ever. They need to take him outside and walk him right to the gallows. Boot his ass to death row right now. No trial. And I'm dead serious. He sat there in a minute. Then you got this little 12-year-old boy to lie. Why you ain't kill him? He was my best friend. 27-year-old man with a 12-year-old best friend. What did I fucking tell you? This fat piece of shit sitting up there on that fucking gurney. I'll give you the full clip of the chopper. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting up there looking stupid. Like, the mother of the children rushed in the house and was in the burn unit, hospitalized days after all of this stuff, trying to get her kids out of there. Now I'm going to tell you something. This answered a lot of questions. Because everybody was like, yo, why would you let your kids go over there and all this other stuff, right? I still believe that. I don't let my kids go nowhere with no grown-up unless it's me or their mom at that time. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of people out here that want to break for their kids and they'll just accept anything from anybody. I'm not letting my baby stay over a 27-year-old man's house that has nothing in common with them except being old enough to watch him, which he didn't do. It's nobody's responsibility to take care of my kids but me. The father, this answered another question. I thought the father lived next door too. He lived in another county. And he said the same thing. Why them kids over there? Why you got a grown up watching these kids? Why they spend the night over the house? Common sense question without common sense answers. This guy right here has the mind of a child. They said he had video games in here. The kids would go over there and play the games. And you was comfortable with that. One boy is 9 years old. The other boy is 12 years old. And none of them are related But the 7-year-old wanted to go over there because the boys were going at night. And she paid the ultimate price as well. She never stayed over there. But my thing is this. If predators are out here and they praying, they will lie in wait patiently, like the ambush predators that they are, to take your children once the time is right. And ma'am, unbeknownst to you or your ignorance, you gave them kids up on a silver platter to this maniac. It's sick. He sat there and said he hated his life. Well, at one time or another, all of us did too, regarding to some situation. But the thing about life is you have chances and choices. You have a choice to stay where you at and stay wallowing in your misery, you know what I'm saying, in your mentals, and you have the choice to rise above that and move forward and be whatever you want to be. This is bullshit. It is. And this is just one of many stories where you see people out here nowadays dissatisfied with self, but making other people pay for how they feel inside. The age of accountability, non-accountability, is upon us, people. And you're starting to see the fruits of the labors of bad parenting, lazy parenting, and just all out stupidness. I told you there are dudes out here or people out here, right? Men and women that only elevate to a certain mindset of an age, and then their minds, even though their body grows, their mentals suffer some type of retardation where it can't go forward and keep up with the age and the times. Did you hear what he said? And he convinced that little boy to say the same lie. A Jamaican guy came in there with a Molotov cocktail in one hand and a flamethrower in the other. So now the Jamaican posse then came up in the house, and you're gonna sit up there and blame somebody black for setting your trailer home on fire. Get the fuck out of here. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Cases like this, when somebody does something because of the way they felt and they hurt others, they need to eradicate them immediately. This guy will go to jail, get life most likely. That's the best they can do, because the death penalty is no longer one of those things that people get on the regular for doing some of the most fucked up shit while penalizing others with death. Where's the justice? Exactly. See you in the next video. Take care.